I want you to imagine something carefully. Tomorrow morning, you wake up, you reach for your phone, your job title is gone. Your position, your role, your professional identity, gone. No announcement, no transition, no explanation. Just silence. Your calendar is empty, your email stopped coming in, your LinkedIn headline disappeared. Who are you now? Not what you do, not what you have built, not what people have applauded you for. Who are you now when there's nothing to perform? If that question feels uncomfortable, that's not weakness, that's awareness. So beneath ambitions, beneath productivities, beneath achievements, many young adults quietly asking, if there's nothing to achieve, if I'm not achieving, do I still matter? And I understand that question more personally than you might expect. High achiever rarely struggle with laziness. They struggle with conditional self-worth. So when things are going well, they feel steady, confident, seen. But when things slow down, they feel restless. When you make a mistake, you feel exposed. When someone else moves ahead, you feel behind. And that's subtle. You won't say, I'm worthless. You say, I need to try harder. I shouldn't fall behind. I can't rest. And you become excellent. But believe that excellence is tension, because your peace rises and falls with performance. And that's emotionally exhausting. This pattern doesn't begin in adulthood. It begins early. You were praised for being responsible, getting good grades, being mature, being dependable. Maybe you were the strong one in the family. Maybe you are the child who didn't cause trouble. Maybe you learned approval follow achievement. Nobody meant harm, but slowly something fused together, achievement and identity. So without you noticing, the question changed from who am I to how am I doing? And that shift is small, but shapes your entire inner world. Let me take you back to the year of 2005. I was a corporate senior executive in Hong Kong. My life was structured. My flights booked months ahead. Boardroom meetings, strategic planning sessions, international travel, clear matrix, clear goals. I knew exactly who I was. I was competent. I was respected. I was decisive. My calendar was full. In many ways, my identity felt secure. But then I was diagnosed with cancer. Suddenly, deadlines didn't matter. Titles didn't matter. The only things it matters was my health and my survival for my family, my husband, and my 2 young children. Recovery was not just physical, it was emotional. It slowed me down, it forced me to sit still. So when you stop moving, you start seeing. So after recovery, my family and I make a life-changing decision. We moved to Australia. I stepped away from my corporate role. I told myself I'm ready. I had detached, but identity layers are deeper than we realized. One ordering afternoon, when I was doing my grocery shopping, I was pulling my foldable shopping bag, and suddenly I felt there was a wave of sadness. I was surprised because grocery shopping is not small, it's part of my life, it's meaningful. But there was something inside was whispering, you used to travel business class, pulling luggage, but now you're pulling foldable bags. You used to hold strategic meeting, lead decisions, and there you was, standing here pulling just a shopping bag. So I know I'm trying to compare airport with market rather than just the luggage with the shopping bag. And I find out that inside me, really deeply attached, my identity was deeply attached with my positions and my performance. And I just stood there and quietly asked myself, if I'm not the executive, if I don't have that title, if I don't have that performance, who am I? That question was destabilizing, but it was the beginning of freedom. In that season, I had to separate structure with essence. Performance has structured my life, but it never defined my essence. When the title disappeared, my compassion was still there. My resilience built through illness was still there. My values were still there. My desires to help people was still there. The label changed, the call remained. I realized something powerful is that identity is not built through achievements. Achievements may reveal identity, but it never sustained it. Today, many young adults are facing identity disruption, even though they never move countries. You may navigating burnout, career shifts, breaks up, migration, redundancy. So beneath these transitions are four invisible pressure. The first one is fear of falling behind. The second one is comparison. Amplified by social media, it looks like everybody is ahead of you. The third one is comfort. You stay in something misaligned, even though you feel that you should move on, but you feel safer to stay rather than change. The fourth one is expectation from your family, your church, your culture, or even from your inner critic. So when identity equals to performance, disruption feels like collapse. But if identity rooted from characters and values, disruption becomes redirection. Let's simplify this. Performance is what you do. Identity is who you are. Performance fluctuates. Identity must stabilize. If you build your identity on integrity, resilience, growth, faith, compassion, contribution, achievements become expression, not definition. So you can succeed without enslaved by success. You can rest without guilt. You can change direction without losing yourself. I want you to reflect honestly. If your current role disappears, what qualities remain? If you fail, what story do you tell yourself? If you rest, do you feel peace or guilty? Your answer is not random. They reflect what's your identity currently anchored to. You're allowed to be ambitious. You're allowed to pursue excellence. But you are not allowed to tie your worth to achievements, because title change, roles change, country change, seasons change, health change, markets change. So if identity, when it was built properly, it will sustain you through all of it. So the question is not asking, what am I achieving? A deeper question is, who am I becoming? When the answer is clear, success becomes peaceful. So if you resonate this, you can find the resources from my website in the description below. And in the coming video, we'll talk about how we can project our outward authority, calm outward authority with a secure inward identity. Because influence based on insecurity is fragile, but influence based on identity, it is powerful.